Namaste. Welcome back to Waking Up through Mindful Serenity Yoga. And I want to start that again, but I'm not going to because I promised myself and others that this was going to be as authentic as possible. We are going to answer another question from the trusty jar of many questions. These questions are somewhat spiritual, questions that have been asked directly to me. They've been questions that I've asked to other people or to myself, and they've been questions that I found from a great old search on the net that said great spiritual questions to ask. So I'm never sure where the question's coming from. I'm not sure what I'll be talking about. I do not prepare beforehand. I just give you whatever comes to the top of my head. This is basically done for my learning so that I tend to learn better through teaching. And I want to simulate all the learning that I've done and all the reading and studying and listening I've done over the course of the last 25 years of my life. My fly's back. He keeps flying around. He wants to get his picture taken because he knows he does not have much time left on this planet. Wants to leave something behind for future generations. I am going to reach in. Oh, just let me get my timer set up here. Kind of lost it all here, as is the way when you're trying to do something. This is going to be the day of imperfect video. They're always imperfect because I don't plan, but they may be a little bit more imperfect today than they usually are. We're just not saying a lot. Okay, timer is set. I'm going to take a deep breath. And I'm going to exhale. Now, I'm going to make sure I never answered this question before. Wow. The question is, will I ever experience the true meaning of yoga? Will I ever experience the true meaning of yoga? So this individual is talking as an I, one individual wondering if they will experience, which kind of makes it conjure. Anyway, if they will ever experience the true meaning of yoga. What is the true meaning of yoga? Let's start with that. I've been practicing, like I said, yoga for 25 years, and I've been practicing all 8 limbs. I am not an initiated yogi, far from it. People might not even say I am a yogi. I don't use the term yogini, by the way, because an actor no longer calls himself an actress. Anyway, that I digress from that little statement of self-righteousness. I think the true meaning of yoga, from what I've learned, is union, right? We know yoga means yoke or union with all. The oneness, establishing that sense of oneness with all, with the source of all life and with the source, with all life that has the source in it. So will this person ever experience that complete union? And again, they use the term experience. So let's talk about experiencing on the experiential level and experiencing on the conceptual level. We can study yoga till we're blue in the face, as I've literally done, we can study it, every great, Hindu sacred text, from the Gita to the Vedas to whatever. We can practice on the mat. We can listen to every great yogi master out there, every Swami, every non-secular or every secular yogi. We can do all that and get this great knowledge about what yoga is, this great conceptual understanding about what yoga is. But that's not necessarily experiencing yoga. Yoga is actually about making that connection with all there is. It's realizing the self, actually feeling and experiencing the self that is within this body and mind that we erroneously call me, and go through our lives trying to please and protect. So experiencing yoga is a lot different than conceptually understanding yoga. And do we how this person wants to know, will I experience in this lifetime? Well, of course, I can't answer that question. I don't know. I don't know if I will experience it in this lifetime. And I've been practicing yoga for a long period of time. I occasionally catch glimpses of the yogic realization. I get glimpses, and very strong ones lately, of my connectedness with the natural world around me. I'm in awe of it. When I'm out there, I find this tremendous peace, and I do believe in the necessity of going barefoot upon the earth to increase that connection of ourselves as one with nature, because we are just parts of nature, right? We are not the superior species looking down at nature and using nature for our own benefit. We are a part of nature. We consume nature in order to continue living. We breathe in nature in order to continue being. So we are just extensions of nature, or parts of nature. We are not the superior beings that are here to utilize nature for their own selfish benefits. So when we are a part of nature and we truly experience ourselves as a part of nature, that is yoga. That is a part of yoga. That is experiencing yoga. And maybe this person that asked the question has already experienced yoga to the smallest extent, like at least got a glimpse of it, like I have every now and again, about that connectedness with nature and about them being a part of nature, and have this, because of that realization, have come to focus on the need to work with nature, and not for our own benefits, but for the benefit of all, which is nature, which included in that all. So maybe they will experience a glimpse of it when they are barefoot on the earth. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll experience glimpses of it when they're on the mat practicing their hatha asanas or doing their pranayama. When time we take a deep breath, for example, we are, regardless if we're consciously aware we're experiencing yoga, we're experiencing yoga. We're experiencing the oneness of the breath. That oneness of the breath is the one thing that connects us to the all, that gives us our sense of existence or living. So yes, we're experiencing yoga with every breath, though we may not be consciously aware, because most of the time we don't even pay attention to our breath. We're not even aware of breathing. And we are not the ones breathing, by the way. We are being breathed. And that, knowing that again is nature. That again is the oneness. And I'm just using the term nature. There could be several different terms for nature. But it is, again, establishing that oneness and that connection. When we're doing our asanas and stretching our body, and we go from this busy mind that's going nonstop up here, and we suddenly stop thinking and experience the full sensation of the body in a pose, and go beyond that to relaxing into that pose, even though it's discomfort, and we have those sensations of discomfort. That is a glimpse of yoga. When we feel great compassion for another without thinking about ourselves and how this experience is affecting us as these personal me's, we are experiencing, or not experiencing necessarily, but getting a glimpse of yoga. So we are constantly getting glimpses of yoga through our lifetime. Fully experiencing it is falling back into who we really are, into the experiencer of this, you see, because when we get glimpses of nature, for example, we're thinking of the little me, how the little me is relating to nature, but the little me is actually in our way of our experience. Without the little me there, without the mind going off telling you stories about what you're seeing and what you're experiencing, or what's out there, and you just, there's no words for it, there's no anything for it, there's just this connection with it, then that's the experience of yoga. But we don't do that a lot. Little me's always in the way with its commentary and its narration, so it may prevent us from experiencing nature fully. Same with when we're on our mat, we'll have our minds, and oh my gosh, this is painful, I don't like this. When's that yoga teacher going to shut up and get me out to do another pose? Those minds are always constantly working on the mat too, so we may not experience the full pose and get a glimpse and getting that taking that glimpse of yoga beyond the discomfort. And same with our breath. If we're not aware of our breath, our breath is, experiencing. The thing is, we are the experiencer beneath the little me, but most of us are so identified with the little me that we don't think of the experiencer behind. And it's the experiencer that's here to experience yoga. It is the experiencer that is already so aware of the connection it has with everything and everyone, right? And with the source of all life. But little me's in the way, so it's the thing that prevents us from experiencing the experience of yoga, from experiencing fully the experience of life. And if we could experience it full of life fully, we'd be experiencing yoga. So the experiencer is here to experience, but we've taken that conscious awareness that comes with the experience and shone it on these little tiny me's, these little dim, narrow beam of light, and we're focusing on that at the exclusion of all else. So that is the farthest thing from yoga. The more we focus on the personalized self, the further we are from experiencing yoga. So this person says, will I? Well, if you practice yoga, if you practice and you get out of your head as much as possible and you do what you can to get beyond your focus on self and its drama and making it all about me, it's very possible to experience yoga more than just a glimpse of it. And I find that my glimpses are getting longer, and I'm getting more and more aware, and I'm beginning to experience the full meaning of yoga. It takes time and it takes practice, and I practice every day. I have a committed practice to becoming more the experiencer of yoga, the experiencer of life. And that, of course, entails getting me out of the way. But me always gets in there, believe me. Me is still very busy. My ego is still very busy, comes in and gets in the way of me experiencing yoga. Even when I'm, as a yoga teacher, it comes in every now and again. So if it's in my way during the teaching process, I'm afraid it's going to get in the way of my students too. So I have to step back and recenter and do my best to get me out of the way. So if you get me out of the way and you practice with a committed practice, then yes, you can experience yoga. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.